Greetings and welcome back to SmartWatch Ticks. We're a YouTube channel on the web at smartwatchticks.com. In this box, I have what is known as a Huawei Band 4 Pro. This is so confusing. There's honor bands and then there's regular bands. There is the 3, the 4, and the 5. Now, as I understand it, and I may very well be wrong on this, if something is a band and says Pro, it's going to have GPS in it. But if it says Honor and doesn't say Pro, it doesn't. Anyway, we've got a review of the Honor Band 3, the Band 3 Pro, the Honor Band 4. This is the Band 4 Pro, and then we've also got an Honor Band 5 review up. Pretty sure I got all those. Anyway, this is the latest one to come out. It's not even on the market globally yet. This is, I believe, the Chinese version, because the manual's only in Chinese. Yeah, I've already been in the box. You'll see that in a minute. But the global one is going to have all kinds of goodies, and that's what we've got in the descriptor. So I'm going to go there right away to tell you that Geekbuying is the company that sent this one out. They got first dibs on this. The Huawei Band 4 Pro. It's really identical to the original Band 4. So much so that I'm going to refer you over to that one, and I'm going to supplement that review with bits and pieces from this one, because I think the GPS is pretty much the difference between the two. It's a 0.95-inch AMOLED, really nice and bright screen, 5-atmosphere waterproof, and of course built-in GPS in this. You've got Bluetooth 4.2 on this and the original 4. All of the other specs there are the same. You have health tracker, heart rate sensor, and sleep tracker. Now, there's some special stuffs with this sleep tracker too. It takes a little more from your battery, but it gives you some pretty detailed deep sleep stuff, which is kind of cool. You got vibration, but no sound. You do have the twist your wrist to see the time, and you can set up a window like at night, where it's not going to do that, which is really cool. We're looking at 120 by 240 pixels. Okay, I thought that was different, but there we go. 100 milliamp hour battery, and this is what's good. You get about 15 days of standby time on here. Actually, you'll get 5 days if you turn on scientific sleep and continuous heart rate measurement. And you can get longer if you turn these things selectively off down or up to 12 days when you turn both of those features off. And if you have GPS, it's independent GPS, so you don't need your phone along to track it. The module's actually in the device. You'll get 7 hours, which is actually really high. It's a very low power, long life GPS module in this thing. To get 7 hours out of a tiny little band is really amazing. It really is. Case material, length of the strap, all the basic stuff. Now down here, it says the app is a Huawei Health App, and it is. And we've covered that extensively. I'll have a link to another video we did, I believe on the Band 4 actually, where I go into excruciating detail of that app. So we're not going to do anything with the app today because it's already been done. It's got all these different supported languages in the international version. Now what I found with this one, when I turned it on, after doing a reset on it, it has 2 languages, Chinese and British English. Of course, I selected English, and that's what we're going to see today. But the international version, which should be identical to this one, is going to have all these other languages. Now, what you didn't see listed here, unless I skipped over it, is NFC. And this device does have NFC in it, but it turns out it's pretty much for China only. It's for riding the bus, and you can do transactions if you're part of Alipay, AliExpress, using NFC, and a couple of other little things. But none of them are supported globally as far as we know. If that changes, I'll let you know in the show notes. For those of you who want to put your translator up to take a look at the screen, this is the very brief manual that explains basically how to charge it, because it is a little bit tricky. And then the back side is probably all of their legal mumbo jumbo. And in my case, since I don't read Chinese, I'm sorry, it looks like mumbo jumbo. There's the QR code for tethering it. Oh, and I got some juicy news for you too, so don't tune out too soon, okay? Really juicy news about a firmware update that happened on this. But first, let's take a look at it. Inside the box, of course, you got the band. Now, normally it's going to be off, and you can't turn it on. The only way you can turn it on, see mine is on, is if you plug it into the charger. It will automatically turn on. Some of these devices we've seen that way. They only turn on when you connect them to the charger. You can turn it off, but once you turn it off, you're not going to get to turn it on. It's a TPU kind of a band. It's got a little bit of etching on the outside of it, gives it a little bit of character. Whole bunch of holes close together, and you know, if you've watched this channel, that's a yummy for me. It means you can tighten it to just the tightness you want because the holes are close, and it'll fit tiny arms and big arms all in one band. They're not removable at all. You're going to see on the web, there's some highlights about it possibly being removable, but that's preliminary. Nobody ever saw it yet, and they're showing pictures of the original 4. The Band 4, the Honor Band 4, was removable bands with a USB charger in the end. This is not. This uses pins to charge, similar to the other Pro bands, I believe. So the bands are not removable that I can tell. It looks like you could push here and pull them apart, but no, it doesn't do that. Okay, I got serial number stuff in there, and then inside this pocket, I've got a bag that comes with a charging dock and a USB cord. Standard USB, micro USB, and not the USB-C, and plug in. Of course, you could use any one you want to. And then this peculiar mounting mechanism, we have reviewed this. You have that notch there that's got to line up with the notch on the sensor diodes. You got the 2 pins that line up here, and you got these little spots. Can you see that right there that this snaps into? And another one right up there. So you lay it over here, you line up those spots, and it clicks. And then it's in there, and it's in there good. You simply plug it in and charge it, and you're good to go. And it's got lots of time on it. All right, it is all charged up. I'm going to clear everything out, and we're going to walk through it right now. Now, this is after the firmware update. Boy, it is blooming bright right now. The ambient light outside, it's late afternoon, is kind of dim. And this is actually set in its automatic mode. It's supposed to dim down when it gets dark. Sorry, it's so bloomed. These are colorful balloons right here. We'll do the best we can. You've got time, battery power, Bluetooth, date on here, and you see how darn quick it's timing out? I'm going to jump ahead. You're going to want to do this. You're going to want to slide all the way through until you get to the more. Inside more. You're going to want to slide all the way down to screen on. In screen on, you're going to want to switch that button, and the screen will sleep after 5 minutes. Can you read that? That's probably the best feature of this one. Otherwise, it times out so darn quick. It's amazing. Now I can come back and I can talk for 5 minutes even without touching it. And if I touch it, well, I get another. It resets itself. Here's my step count on the screen. Doggone, I'm so sorry. It's so bloomed out. Let's go this way. There it shows you step count and percentage. It's a little number down there of my total goal that you set in the app. There's the heart rate. I don't see calories burned. There we go. If you touch it, you'll get your calories burned and distance traveled and time in walking, I guess. And it says 9 out of 12 of hours of not sedentary, getting up and walking around. There's little information bubbles. You can tap on those. But that's all in that very first thing. So you slide through them and then you tap it, not hold it, but tap it to go deeper. Heart rate, same thing. I tap it, and it's immediately saying that it's not on my wrist. Now I want to show you something about these diodes while we're here. So I'm gonna get it started for you. I'm gonna retry. Okay, and now because it sees my finger, it's going to be attempting to get my heart rate. Now watch this. Oh, come back here. There, you see the green diodes? Okay, kind of faked it out now. It's using green diodes to get my heart rate, which is what they all do, okay? And I moved away, so it's not seeing that. Why I did that was this one, blood oxygen. A real band that does blood oxygen knows that you have to use infrared or the red diodes in order to get accurate data. So when I cover and I touch this to start that, it wants me to fasten it in a certain spot, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment too. But now it's measuring my blood oxygen. But look at this, folks. You see the red coming out the sides? Whoa, it just switched to green. You see that? I'm going to retry it again. There's the red and the green. Now, the red went off, but the green came back on. And the reason you got both of them when you do this, and I got to pause while it's doing this now, is on this particular reading, it's using both colors. They don't interfere with each other. I've got my blood oxygen up here, but it's also doing my heart rate down here. So you actually don't need that other heart rate screen. This is a really beautiful bright orange. It's looking yellow on my camera right now, so the colors you're seeing are not necessarily correct because it's just so bright it's messing with my camera. But the blood oxygen is right there, and boom, you see the two diodes there, real quick there. They're both happening at the same time. Because of that, using the red diodes, lots of more capabilities are there in terms of doing fatigue analysis and heart rate variability, and it just goes on and on. So blood oxygen is a measurement as well. Here's last night's sleep time. I can't touch it to go deeper, but the scientific sleep is supposed to give you all kinds of information in the app because it does use that red diode. Then we got your workouts. You tap here and you got outdoor run, indoor run. Now outdoor is going to use GPS. Outdoor walk uses GPS. Indoor walk does not. See that little symbol up in the corner up above? There's outdoor cycling, and then there's indoor cycling. Again, GPS on the outdoor. Whoops, I went into it. Outdoor, indoor, the cycling. Then you've got elliptical, rower machine. You've got pool. That was on the Honor Band 4 as well. Open water and free training. What you don't have is summary, and I've done a few different workouts with this thing, and I don't see a way that I can look at the data on the watch, on the band. After you're done, you get like 4 pages worth of data on here, and that's great, but as soon as you go back to the main screen, they're gone, and you can't see it. Alipay, this is tied in with that NFC, the chip inside. I'm thrown off by the symbol. You can't even see it's got the Alipay, AliExpress symbol in that bright, overpowered blue right there. No doubt you'll be able to see this outside easily. And so when you go in here, it tells you to set up your payment agreement by doing that in the app, and you can agree, and then you go over there, you can scan this with Alipay, and once you're all set up, you'll get either a barcode, I think it says, a QR code, and you swipe that at the terminal to make your payment. That's in China, folks. I don't know that it exists anywhere out. If any of you out there know that you can use this Alipay outside of China, leave it in the show notes. Let us all know, because this would be an awesome feature if you could actually do like Samsung Pay and Android Pay and Apple Pay and Santa Claus Pay, all the other ones that are on the market, but I don't think they're available yet. Then you got cards, and cards, I don't really get it to work. It says use the Huawei Health App to add cards, and I believe that's just each of these pages that you're seeing, they're calling cards, and you can rearrange them. I talk about that in the review of the Honor Band 4 in more depth, so look over that there. Here I've got a countdown timer or a count-up stopwatch. The faces, I'll come back to that. When you're tethered, find your phone. The brightness we've just been playing with, and I don't have... Oh, there we go. There we go. It didn't work for me before. Okay, I'm going to dim it all the way down. There's the brightness control. And you have this also feature of lower the brightness at night, so it must have some sort of a sensor on there as well. That's cool. I hit brightness before and it didn't go into it. Okay, now it should be easier to see. The screen on, we are on right now, and it's each time you go off, you have to come back in and, oh, I guess we're not on, and activate that to set it on for 5 minutes, and it'll stay on until you turn it off. or it goes off and it automatically turns it off. Here's your overall battery percentage. You can see how much charge you have on it and your system. And this is where you can reset the thing or just simply restart it or power off. Your regulatory information and about, and pay attention now. This is where you've got your particular thing for tethering, but down here is the your MAC address, your serial number, and your firmware version. You guys want to make sure you go in and do a firmware update because it's really, really cool. That's what I'm going to show you now. Now, you're going to get really excited and you're going to get really disappointed. That's what I went through. Manic depressive here. The new version 1.1.0.66 changelog says this update adds support for access control card, atrial fibrillation, and premature beat detection. And then I go to scrolling it, but I had to do screenshots. Strongly recommends that you upgrade to use it. It adds support for access control card, whatever those are. Then it adds atrial fibrillation and premature beat detection optimization, and it optimizes blood oxygen menu, and it can be customized, it says. Okay, optimize the display of exercise results, the system stability, fixes some known issues, and now here's where we get into the fun part. Atrial fibrillation and premature beat detection must be used in conjunction with Heart Study app. You guys look for that. Look in the Play Store for Heart Study app. Only Huawei and Honor brand phones support. Please upgrade Huawei Health App to this version and above, and upgrade the Heart Study app to that version and above. The band needs to have at least 20% battery, and it takes about 20 minutes or so to update it. The process is make sure the Bluetooth connection is stable and so forth. So what you can do is update your band to this version. It does take a long time, 20 minutes to a half an hour, and then you think it's done. It's not. It keeps spinning. Just let it go because it'll take another 20 minutes to actually install it. But when it's done, it's in this final condition for which I cannot tell what those changes it's talking about are, and the fact that I don't have a Huawei phone with that other supporting atrial fibrillation app makes it a real challenge that I can't really do anything related to that. So if you're lucky enough to be in a situation where you can take advantage of it, let us know what it's doing, okay? And if I can find a way to review it, you can bet I will. So I was in more. I was looping that way. Now I'm going to loop back up this way. You have the ability to have an onboard music player to remotely play music in your phone and control the volume. That's sweet. And of course, forward or back, play or pause, all from the band. And then you've got your messages pushed from your phone when you have it tethered properly. As far as faces, this is another one too. When you look at the advertising, it says over 100 pages of, or 100 different watch faces are available. And if I go to more and I go to faces, I've got that one with the balloons. It's a little more colorful now, right? Then I got this one with the daisies. And then I got this one with a blob, some sort of a big orange and pink blob. And then I loop back here to this little swimming things, whatever they are. And those are the 3 faces that I have installed. And looking at the app, I don't find an area when you're tethered to the watch that has faces like we've seen in the Amazfit app, just pages and pages of faces, and you can pick whichever one you want to from their server and install it to the watch. I don't see that. So again, I don't know how to put additional faces on it, but the product literature says it supports and has over 100. So let me know, guys, when you get yours, how do you put faces on here? And we'll add that to the show notes and definitely down in the comments for this video as well. And that, I think, is just about it. You've seen the red and green diode. You know about the atrial fibrillation update, but you need to have a Huawei phone to get access to it. And anything else you want to know about the Band 4 Pro, see the review on the Honor Band 4. And I'll have a link to that. What do you say? How about in this corner down here? Okay. And one more time, you can pick it up from Geekbuying. Check the show notes down below. We'll have the buying link for you. We'll have a coupon discount there for you. And it really helps us out at this channel if you use our links to buy these things, if you're making your decision based on watching our videos. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.